Hi guys, Thogrey here for a new video, and this video will be a short video, a meta prediction video for Affliction Warlocks and Elemental Shamans and other classes for this patch. This patch changes a lot of things. I will discuss about the Affliction changes, the destruction changes, and what it actually affects on the meta. So yeah, let's start right away. So this video will be short. So they've made a lot of changes. I read it really quickly. I'm going to talk about the changes that are relevant for PvP. I feel like the Guardian Druid buff is not really relevant because this is not making Guardian Druids more OP in PvP. It is the sleeper legendary, and I hope they will nerf it one day, but it is not this patch. Vengeance Demon Hunter, the same. I don't feel like the damage that it does makes them good or bad. I just feel like if you want to make tanks better, I feel like you should remove this aspect, go away from the tankiness and the annoyance, and try to make them as utility classes, like support classes, like a Shadow Priest, for example, and just make them actually killable, but that their kit actually is interesting. Like for example, in Warthog, you have Blood, Frost, and Unholy DK. You have a tanky spec. You can have a tanky spec as Frost. You can have a tanky spec as Blood. You can even have a tanky spec as Unholy, but all those three classes specs are killable, and also they don't do exaggerated damage, so they have utility from a perspective. Like for example, Blood DK, I like to play Armor Pen. I don't feel like I'm OP, I feel like I'm more of a meme, but I actually can make it work in 3s or in 2s. Just a bit more harder, and they should just do that for tanks in general. Make tanks relevant for PvP, but not obnoxious to play. So put like modifiers for PvP. For example, make their health be on the same level as a warlock, for example. Give them utility, give them damage, but don't give them tankiness that makes them OP. Well, like Guardian Druids with the Sleeper Legendary. That's just annoying. How can you deal with it except ignoring the Guardian Druid? But whenever you're ignoring it, yeah, you get 10k mauled. I'm 20k more on your face, so it's quite difficult. Let's talk about the important changes now for warlocks. You get a 5% extra damage on every spell from your spellbook and your talents and whatever you have. Does it help Affliction Warlock? I guess it helps, but I feel like it's not the damage is not the problem, because you will do enough damage to kill people. I just feel like, yeah, I don't like the playstyle. Your dots revolved around CDs, and often than not revolves about your CC that you're going to apply and your teammate to actually put on pressure. But it's a good start, I guess. The PvP changes are a bit better for me. Destruction Warlock, the 4 set doesn't apply Reign of Chaos anymore on Blasphemy, which makes the talents pretty useless and not played anymore, because why would you play it? I think it's better to play the Conflag talent or the Grimoire of Sacrifice, because often or not your pet will die by cleave. But yeah, people will just drop Reign of Chaos. And also with the next changes, I'm not going to discuss the Chaos Ball because it's not PvP, but Incinerate damage increased by 20%, which is big for Necrolord, like big. I already do 20k Incinerates with Dismantling Bolt on a full target. So it will become 25%, probably 26%, because interaction on crits with Warlocks is a bit different than any other classes. So you will do more damage, but also your immolate damage is increased by 20%, so your dot damage will be noticeable. Also, you have a conflag conduit that actually, if you put conflag, your dot damage or immolate will do more damage. So I feel like your dot damage will finally do something as a destruction warlock, but the incinerate one is probably the best. I feel like improve builders, nerf spenders. Make it more like Warthog, like Wrath of the Lich King. You don't really have a build or a spender, you just have a spell that does more damage, and then other spells that does damage, but in a lesser extent. Maybe easier to cast, but more, like, less impressive whenever you're critting, for example. Just make it like Warthog, make it like Kata, or make it like Mop. I don't care. Just go away from CD reliance and go for consistent damage and burst damage, like impressive burst damage without CDs. Also make healers being able to heal those targets. I feel like the Shadowlands, I like the expansion. I like the PvP experience. I feel like it's a bit exaggerated to say that it's the worst expansion of World of Warcraft. I feel like it's not. I feel like it's very close to Mist of Pandaria and Warthog, PvP wise. Um, that's a whole other video. So let's talk about the changes. Destruction is a big up. I like those changes. Go away from the Reign of Chaos talents because it just reminds me of BFA. Just go for Conflag, Incinerate, Immolate, and Chaos Bolt damage, and I'm very happy about it. PvP. Balanced Druids got a bug fix. I feel like it's a nerf because you will not break stealth anymore. Hunters, that's a big change for Affliction, also for Destruction, I guess. Craven Stratagem now reduces the cooldown of Feign Death by 5% instead, 5 seconds instead of 15 seconds. Perfect. Instead of a survival tactics plus Craven Stratagem every 15 seconds, it will be every 25 seconds, which gives you amp time to actually do damage because they cannot stun lock you or CC you for more than 15 seconds. It's not possible. So you will have some opening. Also, I feel like people will probably change it from Craven Stratagem to another legendary. Although versus Affliction Warlocks, they will not change it because they want to remove your dot damage, but it's not an auto win now. They need to think whenever they're going to do it, and it's a big win for Affliction Warlocks. Mages, they got nerfed, but I feel like it's not really relevant for Affliction Warlock. And I'm talking about a Affliction Warlock or a Destruction Warlock or a caster perspective, and those changes are more for melees in general. Monk, Renew Mist improved and Enveloping Mist improved. Chrysalis buffed 15 seconds extra. This will change absolutely nothing. I feel like the Mistweavers don't have any problem healing people. I feel the problem is surviving damage. And also, like, being able to do damage, to be able to actually participate in kills, to actually be useful and being able to end game by yourself. Like for example, a holy priest, if you're not paying attention, a holy fire can just do 15k and then chastise and then smite, and then you're pretty much dead, and then you can just holy fire again. And yeah, there is a lot of things that they can apply to actually apply pressure. While Mistweaver, yeah, they have a leg sweep, but you will need to go melee, and often than not they are on other shit. And also paralyze, that's a good one, but it breaks on damage, and often than not you want to do it on the healer, and the healer just want to CC you. So the more close you go to the easier it is for them to actually apply the CC to you. So there's a bit of difficulty to actually balance Mistweaver, and I feel like they will need reworks, and I feel like it will wait for Dragonflight to actually be reworked. Retribution, they got nerfed. It's good for Affliction. They will just change conduits. They will not use it anymore because 15% is really low. 30% was already low, but 15% is even lower. And Shield of Vengeance, yeah, for Affliction is quite good because you often and not are solo on the battlefield because you want to be spread out so your elemental shaman or your other caster can cast easily, and you will get like Shield of Vengeance like full damage on you, and now it will be a lot less. So I think it's a good change for Affliction, although I feel like they could have changed other things on Retribution instead of touching the fun abilities. But hey, I'm not a paladin main, so I guess it's good. Mana regen reduced on Holy Priest, easier to damp. Holy Word, Chastise, and the talent are both nerfed, so it will be at 3 seconds instead of 4 seconds. So I feel like it is not as worth to go for the stun because you will DR really easily, and I feel like a 3-second CD, the 3-second stun that can DR the other big stuns is quite bad, I guess. But it's still very strong because of the range, so I guess it's a good change. But I prefer if they touch the range on it because why would a healer be able to stun from so far? That's my issue with holy priests. Ray of Hope nerfed, very good for all the classes, I guess. I feel like they should remove the PvP talent. You don't need Holy Words, Ray of Hope to actually be useful. They have too much utility. I feel like they give way too much Holy Priest instead of Disc Priest, and Disc Priests are pretty much the black duck of the family. With Shadow, of course. Shadow also they got buffed. Shadow Word Pain, which is good, but it will not be impressive. You tickle the people with 800 damage instead of 700 damage. Is it good? I don't know. You tell me. Will a Shadow Word Pain actually do anything to you? Will you die from a Shadow Word Pain? I'm even thinking because of leash you can just survive by hitting people. That says enough on the state of Shadow Priest. Vampiric Touch, I guess if it improves also the talent that can actually do instant damage, then it might be good. But if it's only dot damage, I feel like it's not enough, and it will just need something like Devouring Plague to do actually more damage in PvP. That would be a great change. Rogue, Outlaw, they will not change anything to the meta. It will just be, instead of a 30 seconds evasion, it will be a 40 second CD evasion. I mean, you will have a bit more time to kill the Outlaw, but it's still not easy to kill him, so I feel like this change is not enough to actually change the meta for RMP. Outlaw RMP at least. Warlocks, so those are the big changes for me. I'm going to discuss it a bit in depth. Dark Pact, very good. It will make you actually be able to survive damage that you should not be able to survive. This is overkill damage because 50% will not be a life or death situation, but now it can be a life of death situation whenever you're doing Dark Pact. Because if they are bursting, you do Dark Pact, I think your Dark Pact can absorb everything, so you can escape afterwards. Essence Drain PvP Town now causes the target to deal 9% less damage to the Warlock per stack. Remember, you need to heal yourself to have the stack, so you should not drain life whenever you are 100% HP because it will not apply the Essence Drain PvP Taunt. Also, it stacks 4 times, so it will be a 36% wall, and you can apply it to multiple targets, so you can Soul Rot, drain life, and pretty much you are not the kill target anymore. I feel like it depends about a lot of things. The problem is with Essence Drain is the PvP talent. You want to drain life a lot, and because of you drain lifing a lot, you will not be able to stack the drain life talent very high to do burst damage. So it's a very hard way to actually help you because it's more of a dampening PvP talent. You want to dampen the enemy because of it. But yeah, I like that change. I just think it's not as good as it might be. Um, it will make them more tanky though, so I'm very excited to try and to see for myself if I'm going to survive more damage or not. Gateway Mastery, I feel like you don't have space to use it, but if you might use it, it will become a 1 minute CD on your gateway, like the portaling effect. So I guess it could help you versus Kyrian Spear if you are playing versus Arms Warriors and you know they are going to play Kyrian and you are standing always next to a portal. You can just portal away and it breaks the Kyrian Spear for you, so it's very good. Also, it's also good for your allies. So it's also for your allies. It will be a 1 minute CD instead of a 1.15 or a 1.30 minutes CD. Affliction. Soul Leash grants an absorb shield based on 12% instead of 8%. I like it. It's leash, so you need to do a lot of damage to actually have the absorb shield. It is not going to be a life-changing buff, but at least because of this, because of Dark Pact, because of Essence Drain, I feel like you will be able to survive damage that you otherwise would just flop over. So I think it's a very good change for Warlocks, at least for Affliction. Warrior, so the amount of mastery granted by Conqueror's banner reduced by 33%. I feel like it's a good change because often not you want to buff the allies because of it and not yourself, although it also helps you a lot. But it helps more the Retribution Paladin, and this is actually a nerf for Retribution Paladins because their comps, like their favorite comp is Ritual, and Ritual often not just plays with a Necrolord warrior, and without it I feel like Paladin will just go for Cupid or Vanguard instead of a Ritual, and it's the same for warriors. I feel like warriors will play TSGs, Thundercleaves, Turbo, they could also play with a DH. I guess it's very SM orc, but I guess with these changes, you can play Kirin more often. I would say they might just play arms too. So there's a lot of good things with this, but we'll see. Fury, crushing blow, 20% less damage in PvP. I like it. So instead of a 20k crushing blow, it will be a 16k. It can be life saving. So I guess it's a very good change for us, Affliction. And let's now discuss about the meta and how it will change. So I'm gonna go on Tsunamate really quickly for 3v3. In 3v3 you have still demonology. I'm going to make it a bit smaller if I can. Yep. Alright, so we have a lot more demonology in trees because affliction and destruction have a really bad state. You just see the amount of afflictions and destruction warlocks in EU is abysmal compared to a demonology warlock. I'm not even going to compare with elemental and fire because elemental actually plays a lot with demonology. Shadow priest also plays with demonology. Elemental plays with shadow priest and also with balance and warlocks in general. But those changes for destruction and affliction will just bump them into the popularity. So I feel like a lot of people that are playing demonology right now are going to switch to destruction or affliction because often or not they don't like to play demonology. At least I know I didn't change because I don't like to play demonology. I preferred even to play demonology the patch before, so in 9.2, 9.1, 9.1.5, whenever it was not popular, but now it's popular, so I feel like the nameplate cleaves are super annoying. I just don't like to play against. I don't like to play with. So whenever I'm playing with my elemental shaman, I try to find an affliction warlock or a destruction warlock. But now with those changes, I feel like affliction will try to push out into the popularity. Also for destruction, I feel like whenever you're paired with unholy DK, I guess you will get tunneled, but you will be able to survive damage that you otherwise would just flop over. Same for destruction. I think the mage lock comps might get more popular because destruction going necrolord gives them more survivability, but also more consistent damage with incinerate. I feel like it's a good thing. Those nerfs on the hunters are going to hit on the popularity for beast mastery, marksmanship, and survival in trees. But I feel like in twos it's not going to change because in twos it's a lot less bursty. You will be able to survive more damage, and with the 25 seconds, it will be easier to die versus Affliction Warlock, but it's not impossible to lose versus a Affliction Warlock. So you will be able to turn it around whenever you're going to use it, whenever you want it, of course. So for me, at least at this very moment, I feel like RMPs are still king. TSG is going to have a rise because Unholy DK are still strong. Warriors got nerfs, so it might be a good time to play Unholy DK. Also DHs. I feel like DH Boomy might get a rise because their counters Red's War just will not be able to resist the ongoing damage from Boomies and DH. And also the amount of Red Wars will be lower on the ladder. Demonology will get a bit of a nerf. Not really, it's not a nerf, but at least you will see that the popularity will dwindle down to Affliction and Destruction because those are the most fun specs for us Warlocks. At least for me, I'm not speaking for all Warlocks, but I feel like I'm still having more fun on Affliction or on Destruction Warlock than on Demonology Warlock. Shadow Priest might get a rise on popularity, although I feel like it's more a placebo effect. I don't think those changes will do anything to the damage from Shadow Priest. You will still do the pad damage, you will still be reliable on your partner to actually kill targets, and it is very RNG with those void volley PvP talents that I don't like to play. Sometimes you miss everything and sometimes you just hit everything and they die, so I don't like it. In general, I feel like the meta doesn't really change, although for casters it might be better. Affliction Warlock will be obnoxious to play against as a caster, but you don't see a lot of casters these days, you see a lot of melees, and a lot of melees will have a harder time to kill Affliction Warlocks and also Destruction Warlocks, so it's a very good change. I'm excited. let me know what you think about the meta at this very moment and how it will change for you in the future. Let me know in the comment section below. Also, let me know what you think about the video. Helps me a ton. And yeah, I'm very excited with the changes. And yeah, I want to be Wednesday right now, so I can actually try out those changes, try out Affliction Warlock. Does it feel better or not? And yeah, we are doing on the we are stepping on the right direction. I feel like Blizzard is more listening to the community, and I just hope that the trolls just stay home and they just provide that people just provide real criticism or real feedback instead of just saying, oh, those changes are bad. I don't see Outlaw Rogues nerfs too much. I don't see Fire Mages nerfs too much. Holy Priest still is biz. Yeah, like we all get it. I feel like you can just say, look, Outlaw Rogues, they have still this. It might be better to nerf it. Or people are just screaming about Sepsis Vendetta, but they don't know that in trees you don't see a lot of assassination rogues because they are easily countered by a lot of classes or by communication, okay, if this happens, you trinket first, then I trinket, then my ally trinkets, and then we reset those CDs and try to kill the assassination rogue in the meanwhile. So there's a lot of things that you can do to actually stop that assassination rogue. And for myself, I know I can die versus a Sepsis Vendetta, but if you're playing with your teammates and you're trying to communicate and try to improve, I feel like assassination rogues are not as OP as it might seem. So thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate you. We will see each other very soon. Bye.